Here's Hill penetrating and finished off by Kaminsky.
For a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Take a few chances. One-handed.
The Jayhawks shooting their first free throw. First trip to the line in this one.
They don't love us, they just love it. How we live, how we live, how we live, how we live.
No luck that time either.
They just love it. How we live.
In transition, here come the Badgers. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Right back here after the break to start the second half of the college championship game. Right here on 2K Sports.
You was never around, had to hold it down. We the youngest, we was thugging, you was never found. What's that feeling? I'm the realest. All them nights I had to struggle trying to find some dinner. They don't really love me, they not really for me. When I die, is you gon' show up to the ceremony? I just bought a Bentley, just to bet your Christian Louboutin to make a switch religion. I'm not stupid, baby. Fuck the mansion.
And the big game is just about ready to get going for our second half of play. What a championship atmosphere we've got here tonight. We are just one half of basketball away from seeing college basketball history being made.
And in the championship game with this one, guys, you would have expected a close battle. I don't think I decided.
Come on, let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. Are where legends are born. I mean, if a player like Freak can come up huge in this final half of play, he'll anchor himself in school history as one of the greats to ever play the game.
Freak, he's in at point guard. Also Duncan out there. And it's Terry in at the four-man position. And for the Badgers, they got Decker. Atkins is out there with him. Then it's Kaminsky, and it's Evans in at the four spot. Aussies checked in for the Jayhawks. Williams and Wisconsin going with almost an entirely new group here. Wisconsin trails by 4. They double team Conley. And stolen by Freak. Here's Daniels. And he makes good on the layup.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense. To contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but I'll tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Conley kicks to Payton. Hawkins passes to Payton. Puts it up from 12, and the shot is good, popping in off the front of the rim. It's taken away by Payton, all by himself. And so in the game for the Jayhawks, Freak in a 2-guard. And it's Frazier in at the 5, roaming the paint.
This game's still very much up in the air. I mean, this is where you start to separate the men from the boys and where heroes are born.
And one team looking to ice the win, the other hoping to force OT. I think right now you're leaning on your stars and get the ball to Freak every chance you get to try and come away here with the title.
And the Badgers with possession here. Following the miss by Freak.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
So I had to earn life. Road to the riches, wouldn't change it for the turnpike. 365. 12 months, 24/7, gotta get it, I need it steady. No one give it, I'll give it. They don't love it,
so here's Kansas. The lead is 2. Williams kicks to Uber.
They don't love it, they just love it.
The Jayhawks making a change here. Freaks checked in, and Wisconsin also making a switch. Conley's checked in. Freak tackles through traffic and lays it in.
As we see Freak and his team go for the title here, he is trying to repeat what he did just a year ago. He was able to lead his high school to the PSAL championship.
Well, Greg, he was a 4-time All-American selection in high school and a unanimous one at that. He's won state titles before, but this is a different animal than high school.
The Badgers making a switch here. Hawkins is checked in. And the Badgers with possession here. He feeds it to Evans. And foul hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Let's get your take on the Huddle Fed for the Jayhawks.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
It falls.
Those are huge points. Beyond huge, partner. I mean, they needed that bucket desperately.
I know you came to hustle, grit your teeth and clench your knuckles. We didn't come to fight, we came to get you. You gon' live with me till we die, that's how homies ride. No need for consternation, gathering the congregation. I'm rocking for my nation, to get that spirit raising. To all my cousins and my cliques, family and folks. We gotta ride out till we break up all them hundreds fold.
56 seconds left in the second half of basketball. They set the pick. Inside, here's Hawkins. Count! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
In clutch basket, even with him being on the short end of the stick, size-wise.
Really, Greg, impressive.
And the foul called on Freak.
You know what? He tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
29 seconds left to play in the second half. Hill passes to Decker. Here is Hawkins. On the wing, Evans.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
So it's Wisconsin picking up the win. Such a special moment for these kids. All the hard work they put in, all the pressure, Greg, they've been under all tournament long. This
Hello?
Hey, Ma, it's me.
Hey, Frequency.
I got you on speakerphone.
Okay, your sister there?
Hey, Mama, I'm right here.
Hey,
Good evening and welcome to the NBA Draft. With the first pick in the NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Karl Anthony Towns from the University of Kentucky. With the second pick in the NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select D'Angelo Russell from The Ohio State University. With the third pick in the NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Jahlil Okafor from Duke University. With the fourth pick in the NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Kristaps Porzingis from Latvia. With the fifth pick in the NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Mario Hezonja from Dubrovnik, Croatia. With the sixth pick in the NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Willie Cauley-Stein from the University of Kentucky. With the seventh pick in the NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Emmanuel Mudiay from Dallas, Texas. With the eighth pick in the NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select Stanley Johnson from the University of Arizona. With the ninth pick in the NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Frank Kaminsky from the University of Wisconsin. With the 10th pick in the NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select Justice Winslow from Duke University. With the 11th pick in the NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Miles Turner from the University of Texas. With the 12th pick in the NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Trey Lyles from the University of Kentucky. With the 13th pick in the NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Devin Booker from the University of Kentucky. With the 14th pick in the NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Cameron Payne from Murray State University. With the 15th pick in the NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Kelly Oubre from the University of Kansas. With the 16th pick in the NBA draft, the Boston Celtics select Terry Rozier from University of Louisville. With the 17th pick in the NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Rashad Vaughn from UNLV. With the 18th pick in the NBA draft, the Houston Rockets select Sam Decker from the University of Wisconsin. With the 19th pick in the NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Jaren Grant from the University of Notre Dame. With the 20th pick in the NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Delon Wright from the University of Utah. With the 21st pick in the NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Justin Anderson from the University of Virginia. With the 22nd pick in the NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select Bobby Portis from the University of Arkansas. With the 23rd pick in the NBA draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Rondé Hollis Jefferson from the University of Arizona. With the 24th pick in the NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Tyus Jones. With the 25th pick in the NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select the 19-year-old point guard from the University of Kansas.
HBK, yeah, you know how we. And I can't quit, all I know is. HBK, yeah, you know how we.
Let's do this, young man.
Yes, sir.
And I can't quit, all I know is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Frequency Vibration. Welcome aboard, young man. Welcome aboard.
All right, all right, all right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do.
My first NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, it's almost hard to believe. I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong and do my best to represent Harlem.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my colleague. Right now, folks, and the fulfillment of a lifelong dream, a special individual taking to the hardwood as we'll get to watch the first official NBA appearance from Freak.
You know, and what a huge moment this is for him. I mean, your whole life has been spent leading up to this, and finally he's going to get to take the court in the NBA. I mean, his mind has to be racing like a million miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, there are all different kinds of pressure situations. This is about as nerve-wracking as it gets. But even so, I don't think it takes away from how much he enjoys it.
Well, with Freak Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And, Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready, and he's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school when he could be on the NBA clock.
And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid in anything when it comes to basketball.
And so in the game for the Cavaliers, Mozgov is out there with Channing Frye. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. Then it's Kyrie Irving. And it's Shumpert in at the small forward position.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Green dishes to Freak. And again, Memphis no good. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, they come in off the loss to the Bulls.
Yeah, plagued by foul trouble throughout in that game. I think it just forced them into some rotations that they weren't comfortable with.
Yeah, and you know, the frustrating part, guys, is that's something that can be avoided. You know, you can correct that, but you've got to move your feet and keep your hands to yourself. You've got to show some discipline.
And he can't stop the run as he misses. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Cavaliers lead by 7. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. Sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game. You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective for most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court.
And the first half is now in the books. Cavaliers ahead, up 11. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Anderson, he's checked in for Gasol. JaMychal Green comes in for Zach Randolph. Matt Barnes is checked in for Vince Carter. And Freak subbed in for... And mark that bucket down, folks. That's the first career basket from Freak.
And a scrappy one, but he'll take it. It doesn't matter how you get those first points in the NBA. It just matters that you get them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there will be plenty of chances to create spectacular highlights in the years to come for this young man. But right now, he just wants those first points.
Not sure there's anything they can do to salvage this one.
Not anymore. I mean, any chance they had got away from them, slipped right out of their hand.
Outside jumper. And so it's Cleveland winning.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving. Kenny, what did you like about his game?
There's no doubt about it. This guy is a leader. He was in attack mode all night, calling for it and delivering.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Well, it was the Golden State Warriors winning their last game against the Pelicans in New Orleans. It was just a textbook performance. That game was all theirs. Once they got it going, it was full speed ahead.
And no doubt in my mind, the overriding factor in that game was their huge edge on the backboard.
Yeah, the level of energy they had, guys, in the win wasn't matched by their opponents, and that rebounding difference, I think, was
Warriors leading by 3. Clark, looking around the league, there's no team that teams want to play less than the Memphis Grizzlies. They just wear you down.
Well, they play a physical brand of basketball. They play hard. Everybody's on the same page. And even if you beat the Grizzlies, they take a lot out of you in terms of how they try to wear you down.
And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
Having a chance here to check out how the Grizzlies ranked in the NBA last season. 2nd in opponent points per game. 6th in steals. And they were top 10 in free throw percentage. That's always helpful in winning games.
And you talked about their defensive ranking. I mean, they really do a good job of holding their opponents to a low point output each and every night. That grindhouse style really wore on team.
Over in the corner, Green. It's rebounded by Stevenson.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Barnes kicks to Stevenson. Here's Freak. And the miss, not the best shot selection there. Warriors leading by 5. Here's Ezeli. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play. And some changes here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Green. And it's Livingston in for Curry. And Memphis also making a switch. Anderson's checked in. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Guys, Steve Kerr gave me a few moments to catch up with him. This is their first matchup of the season against this squad, and he knows the shot blocking in the middle will certainly be an obstacle. But he said, quote, we've got to remain aggressive and continue to attack. Guys, he said that putting their bigs in high pick and rolls and shooting the open jumper with confidence will be key. We'll see how they do.
All right, Doris, thanks. Well, guys, they're thinking mainly about how to tackle the defense they're facing.
And that's got to be the focus. It takes a lot of game planning to come up with ways to put points on the board consistently against these guys.
And we know this coach is very comfortable game planning. He'll have a lot of ideas of how to attack this defense today. Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Freak. That's good, and it's Stevenson with the assist.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spots. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Livingston kicks to Spates, and that one's good. Spates has got his first basket of the night.
And that's what they have to do more of. They got a great look out of that possession.
It's deflected, and they get it back. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Livingston kicks to Spates. Here is Livingston. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Pelicans in New Orleans.
And I thought the contribution he made by just generating contact, getting to the line was outstanding, guys. I mean, he picked up a lot of points at the stripe.
Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range, told us about his comfort stretching the floor. I was going to say, Greg, how big must that... And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Warriors lead by 18. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Andre, what has been the underlying principle of how you and the team have taken the floor tonight?
Communication. Communication doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but in order for us to be a good team, everyone has to be on the same page, and we're doing it tonight.
And as we begin the second, Memphis. Anderson, he's checked in for Randolph. Barnes comes in for Vince Carter. And Freak subbed in for Tony Allen. The Splash Brothers are the guards. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. And it's Barnes in at the 3 spot. That's the Warriors 5. 6 to shoot. Here's Gasol. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
And Marc Gasol, surprisingly nimble for a 7-footer. He really moves his feet well at both ends of the floor.
The Grizzlies shooting pretty terrible here in the third quarter at around 30%. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Lance Stephenson's checked in for Memphis.
Lance Stephenson.
Warriors have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. And when you look at Marc Gasol now versus when he came into the league, remarkable how that body of his, Clark, has transformed.
Kevin, he changed his diet and he dropped a bunch of weight. Believe it or not, he even grows vegetables at his house. He's really gone all in on the transformation of his body.
Clark, good information.
Yes, sir.
How'd
That's
you
what
know
we do.
that
That's what we do here.
Woo.
Info and entertainment.
Thompson with the bucket.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Memphis has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds. You know, these are the guys you need to be aware of. If you don't want your pocket picked, here are last season's steals leaders. Tony Allen third, Steph Curry fourth.
You know, it's really hard to measure just how much impact these two had on their teams. I mean, either one of these guys would have been a good choice for an all-defensive squad.
To stop the run, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And it goes on Draymond Green. What a year for the Warriors. Clark won their division for the first time in 39 years, ran away with the very tough Western Conference.
And there were a number of surprises last season, Kevin, but the Warriors were at the top of the list. I mean, I don't think anybody, including you and I, pegged them to be as good as they were.
Especially the way the finals began.
Exactly.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Azili's checked in for Bogut. Iguodala comes in for Harrison Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Curry.
And the Warriors won 51 games back in 2014, improved that mark by 16 wins last season. Among teams that won at least 50 games in the previous year, that 16-game improvement was an NBA record for the Warriors.
And the Warriors making a change here. Spates is checked in.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today. There's a glaring discrepancy between these teams in that area of the game.
And it's been the difference. That's what's enabled them to build such a big lead, no doubt about it.
It goes without saying the Warriors set franchise records all over the place with their play. Their win total being the highest ever, but also of note was it was the first time they've won 50 games in back-to-back seasons. They seem to truly have arrived as a top-notch franchise in this current state of the NBA.
All right. Last season, Memphis fell late and would end up with the 5th seed in the NBA playoffs. Only one of 2 teams to make the playoffs each of the last 5 seasons, along with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and they were a team that nobody wanted to play. Memphis drew Portland in that first round, and even though they were the 5th seed, they had home court advantage.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
And that'll make a pair of turnovers for him in just the last few minutes. So he's got to be a little bit more deliberate with the ball out there.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Allen comes in for Barnes, and it's Mike Conley in for Freak. Spade sets a screen for Thompson. The 10-footer, and another basket for Golden State.
You know, guys, Memphis.
Look here for the Warriors. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for Azili. Green comes in for Maurice Spates. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. So on the floor for Memphis. Freak, he's in at the point. Chris Anderson out there with Martin. And there's Carter. And it's Adams in at the shooting guard position.
And guys, Memphis would lose 2 of their 3 games at home against Golden State. So things got tough with the Conley injury and missing Tony Allen as well. But they did put up a good fight, ultimately, though, falling in 6 games to the Warriors. And remember Klay Thompson's father, Michael Thompson, a former #1 pick out of Minnesota. Growing up, he was the smallest of his brothers and thereby took his lumps when they played hoops. But he said that challenge helped him to develop into the player he is today.
And Klay Thompson, born into an athletic family. His father, the former #1 overall pick in the NBA draft. And Clark, his mom, was a Division I volleyball player.
And, you know, Thompson, despite those genes, was not a highly recruited player out of high school. Grew up in UCLA's backyard, but ended up playing college ball at Washington State.
Martin the screen. Just 5 to shoot. Adams dishes to Freak. Adams, the pass to Freak. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Here's Golden State now. They're on a 15-3 run. Thompson missed.
He's not exactly struck.